Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today, we will be covering Sthlm County Railway's newest update, version 1.10, with a full overview of my thoughts and opinions. So, here we have the airport update. Needless to say, the network has changed quite drastically in this update. Even when the maps have only just been updated, I've been scouting around all the tracks around the area, and with the help of the new signalling diagrams at the company new supervisor offices at Airport Central, I've created a full geographical map. As you can see, Airport Central is on a bend after Airport Parkway, after which Connect continues to Terminal 2, with Ehrling having a single track to Terminal 1 and creating a new triangle at Terminal 3. This means that there is now one new Connect route and two new Ehrling routes, including an airport shuttle. Over on Waterline, the long-awaited James Street extension has released, along with a branch for Terminal 2, stopping at Farley, Rosedale Village and Esterfield. This comes with three routes, being Newry to Esterfield, Benton to Esterfield and Newry Harbour to Farley. Alright, with the confusion of the network adaptations put to one side, let's focus on the upgraded stations, new stations and depots. We'll start not in the airport, as we head to City Hospital, a much needed facelift in an already nice looking area. Whilst I feel the entrance has a great design, in my eyes it seems a little too simplistic overall, plus this canopy is a little strange in terms of literal physics. The station is actually based off a tram stop called Central Park in Manchester, which is an odd decision on the development team, but quite unique for the game overall, so I like that. Moving on, we get to Coxley, which was only tweaked a little, with the main thing being the new platform shelters. They do look quite flat, but they do certainly make an improvement to the overall feel of the station. I've had Matty saying previously that he doesn't personally like Coxley, so it makes sense that it got a small improvement in this update. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that the depot's been redone, which looks quite cool. Jumping back over to the airport, we'll start off with Airport Parkway, which is based off Bristol Parkway Station. Whilst I'm not a huge fan of the grey colour scheme, the model itself retains nicely throughout the entire model, which looks quite good. And there are even some cars, including Teslas, parked on the actual parkway just next door. Oh yes, and there's a nice touch to the eastern side of the station, with Class 66 static models kindly provided by Matty X 2013. Go check out his freight game, link in the description. Next up we have Airport Central, which is quite conveniently based off Gatwick Airport, my nearest airport. Having been to this station a few times myself, I feel like they've captured the busy feel of the platforms really nicely, with the ticket hall having a lounge, as well as some shops spread around the place. I also like the fact that they have the National Rail symbol on the roof, which is a real feature at Gatwick Airport. And obviously as well, we can't forget the wonderful new ROC. Interestingly, at the end of the platforms, there are car stop markers for 9 to 12 car trains, so hopefully we should be getting some longer trains very soon, as there are more and more indications across the map of these. Terminal 1 station is quite simplistic, with the spawning area being closed off with some fake walkways. There's a booking office and a single platform when you walk in. Before the station was upgraded, it had a similar vibe, although there was more of a green colour scheme. and yet it's changed to have more of a cool blue theme, which I like a lot, similar to places such as Heathrow Central and the Elizabeth line. Terminal 2 oddly has Connect and Waterline serving this station as well as Ehrling, which is a strange experiment, but it opens up for some rather interesting gameplay. The station is entirely based off of Manchester Airport minus the trams, with a very spacious entrance area with a walkway and long platforms. The canopies come into one large roof at the end of the station, which has 4 terminating platforms, in which some routes can reverse with the new purple bar I'm showing on screen now. To end the trilogy off, Terminal 3 is more basic, with the entrance and station being similar to the Heathrow Terminal 5 area. The station itself has 3 platforms, 2 of which are ridiculously long, and this station is quite the contrast to Terminal 2, as it doesn't have as much of a capacious feel to it, which I like because not every airport station has to have massive walkways. Now onto Waterline. First of all, we have Airport West, which is now based off of Glasgow Charing Cross, which has a cramped underground but also overground feel, which is executed very nicely, similar to the original Leighton City station. And yes, the split after the end of the station splits off to Terminal 2 and Esterfield. James Street is now quite a small station, a long distance away from Airport West, with the walkway to the platforms definitely being inspired by the Elizabeth line, and the platforms somewhat resembling Island Garden Station on the Docklands Light Railway. In my opinion, the platforms could be a bit wider to fit passenger flow better, but the station is overall far better and far less creepy than it once was, let's be honest.
This was a bad idea. No, I hear footsteps. No, someone is definitely here. No, please.
Now, after over 3.5 years of waiting around, Waterline finally goes beyond James Street. And we all thought that there would be only one station, but there are 3. The first is here at Farley, where trains to Neary Harbour can also turn around. This is a station based off of Surrey Quays in London, with a small but substantial feel to it in my eyes, with a nice entrance to fit in with the surrounding area. Although, this does remind me of something.
Farley!
The next station is the limited stop of Rosedale Village, which is a great example of a small community station where most services pass through. There are only a few houses around the area, with mostly greenery as well as a pond further up the line, so it seems like quite a nice area to train spot. And finally, we get to the station whose name got leaked a while ago. You guessed it, it's Esterfield. This is a terminus station with 4 active platforms and an extra platform that is just filled with a pacer for some reason. The entrance is quite simplistic but also very nice and town-like, and the theme continues throughout the platforms, giving the station a good amount of consistency. This is where the line ends for all services and where the James Street extension ends. Although, I'm nowhere near done yet, no. I will now have a look at the depots. As of course this smaller bidirectional depot at Esterfield, which is mostly just inactive sidings to fill the scenery. However, there is an absolutely huge depot called Farley Depot, located between Airport West and Terminal 2 or James Street, right next to the junction where this cryptic sneak peek was taken. This depot accommodates for all 3 operators in both directions, and whilst it looks like a pain to signal, it really isn't like that. Thanks, Pantech. I wanted to have a more general look at the airport area now, so this is what we have. Previously, the airport was just a few blocks, so this is obviously a massive improvement. They have an air traffic control tower, several gates with copied and pasted Airbus A320s, with the confusingly named Step Air. They also have runway taxis and, of course, plenty of accommodation around Terminal 2, although it is a bit of an odd choice to have tall buildings near where a plane must land. Unfortunately, a lot of the tracks around the airport zone are just on grass-based paves with trees, which aren't too bad, but I am definitely a fan of a lot of these tunnels with emergency walkways along the side. And now we go on to the trains. Unfortunately, the mesh model for the Class 360 was supposed to be added in this update, but it didn't make it ready in time, although a new train has been added to Ehrling, the Class 345. As many of you may know, this train is used on the Elizabeth line in London, and is unique because of its longitudinal seating and 3-door per carriage layout. Sadly, the SCR version is cut to 7 cars rather than the extended version of 9 cars, but that's not where the disappointment ends. The train costs 4,500 points just to provide you with one route. One route! That's a bit of a rip-off if you ask me. Whilst this is probably my new favourite model train in SCR, especially the interior, which looks absolutely stunning, what you get with it is quite disappointing in my opinion. At least have some kind of stopper route from Stepford Central to the airport, which mimics an Elizabeth line service pattern. As per usual, on every update, showcase and review, I time-lapse the route to show you all the scenery changes. This time I'll be covering Cambridge Street Parkway to Esterfield. It starts off going simple, before going down into a tunnel portal with rather disappointing scenery, where it goes down, goes back up, and stops at Airport West. After this, the train turns right and starts heading down the tunnel, emerges eventually and passes Farley Depot, goes back underground, and after a while reaches James Street. Yes, this is a substantial increase in distance. After James Street, the tunnel quite quickly emerges in this grey portal area, before turning into the nearby Farley station. It's quite simple after Farley, with Rosedale Village being not too far by, with plenty of green space along the way. After departing Rosedale Village, the train runs alongside a large lake, whilst turning into the final approach onto Esterfield station. Well, that'll be all for this review video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Version 1.10 is a huge update, arguably bigger than version 1.8, and I think the quality is genuinely improving for every major update, so the game is certainly heading in the right direction. Anyway, you've been watching Dweller. If you enjoyed, leave a like and perhaps consider subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.